what you did change was the understanding. You said, you have to create some signature products. You helped me brand what I did, which is such an incredible skill for someone to distill the essence of
Mm.
someone. And you made it a step-by-step process. Plus, you made it so darn fun. And
We did have fun to it.
we did have fun.
With
And
the-
that is incredible. And now that I've been doing this, like ever since we started, which was like 15 or 16 years ago, and have met other people who do coaching and have seen other people who do it, I have never met anybody who has that skill in the way you do.
oh, thank you. Welcome to the Expert Authority Coach Podcast, the one-stop spot for entrepreneurs, coaches, authors, and business owners just like you who are ready to rise, shine, and finally be seen as the go-to authority in their field. I'm your host, Christine Blosdale, also known as the Expert Authority Coach, and my mission is to help you build a magnetic brand, grow your visibility, and turn your expertise into real, lasting influence and income. If you want to dive deeper, head on over to my website, expertauthoritycoach.com, where you can explore all the groovy stuff that I've created for you. And you can even book a free discovery call with me. I'd love to hear from you. Once again, head on over to expertauthoritycoach.com to book that free call today. And if you're enjoying the show, please make sure you like, subscribe, and share it with someone who's ready to step into their expert authority as well. You can share the love, and only good karma will come back to you. I promise. Alrighty, so let's jump into today's episode. Welcome back to the Expert Authority Coach Podcast. I'm your host, Christine Blosdale, and I am so excited because one of my favorite human beings on the whole entire planet is joining us today to talk about her journey, her entrepreneurial journey, and working with me for many years, but a long time ago we started,
That,
and I
that we
thought she would just be such a great guest to talk about the ups, the downs, the glory of having your own business. I want to welcome to the show gut health expert extraordinaire, Julia Loggins. Hi, Julia.
Thank you so much. Hi, I'm so excited to be here.
I have just been like chomping at the bit to have you on the show
Yeah,
because
I'm so
you
excited.
know what it's like to take your business from like a brick and mortar where
Yeah,
people come
right.
to you. You're a gut
Yep.
health expert. You do amazing work. You're an angel in the health industry, colon hydrotherapy. When I met you, you had a thriving business where people came to you and had colon hydrotherapy, and then you advised them with their gut issues, the problems that they had. And it kind of went from there, didn't it?
Yes, it did. I had written a couple of books, but nothing had happened with them. And, but I just was on fire to do that, which is the mark of an entrepreneur, right? Where,
Yes, yes.
the mark of an entrepreneur is you have to do it, even if the numbers don't necessarily make sense and the hours don't make sense, but
Mm.
you just have to do it. And that was me. And then I heard you on the radio doing your fund drive, and you were so inspirational. And the way you interviewed people and the
Oh,
way you got them to share what they do, how to actually help people, and you were helping so many people. And I thought, well, I don't know if she's ever had a gut health expert on here, and nobody's gut works. So I wrote
that's
to you.
right.
Yeah, nobody's gut works, especially these days. So I wrote to you, and then what happened was, as we got to know each other, you came to work with me. And what you brilliantly saw and perceived was that I didn't, I had my love, my work, and I loved what I did, but I didn't have any path, any step-by-step path to take it out into the world.
Yeah.
And I didn't really have a brand, and I didn't have any goal except to get up in the morning and work a million hours.
A gazillion
And
hours.
really, you know what? That hasn't stopped. So, yeah, that part hasn't really stopped. However, what you did change was the understanding. You said, you have to create some signature products. You helped me brand what I did, which is such an incredible skill for someone to distill the essence of
Mm,
someone, which makes us different from all the other people who are doing what we do, and is the one thing that if someone would say, oh, I trust this person and I want to work with this person, or I want to buy what this person has to offer. And you help me actually. Without you, I really wouldn't have created not only the products that I've created that it's amazing, that have helped so many people, and now I reach people all over the world, but
yeah.
just the whole concept of taking my work out into the world. And you made it a step-by-step process. Plus, you made it so darn fun. And
We did have fun doing
we did have fun.
it.
And that is incredible. And now that I've been doing this, like ever since we started, which was like 15 or 16 years ago, and have met other people who do coaching and have seen other people who do it, I have never met anybody who has that skill in the way you do.
Oh, thank you. Wow.
Yeah, it's
That makes
really,
me feel
it is.
great.
And there's people who do it and they charge like a bazillion dollars. And it's crazy to watch people that I know or care about spend a bazillion dollars and get nowhere. And I'm not saying that they're working with people that are just scam artists. I think some of them may be well intentioned, they just don't know what they're doing. And it's so easy to do that. And so I can see you made it look so easy, and you made the experience easy. Now, the day-to-day of it isn't easy. The commitment to it isn't easy. The downs, I mean, I've been through a lot and I'm happy to share that. And I've had some really huge downs. But as my husband said, I'm pretty hard to crater. So
Mm.
I, you know, I think the mark of an entrepreneur is that we are unsinkable in an irrational way.
Oh, I love that.
And if we were more rational, we wouldn't be doing
We
this.
wouldn't
But
be doing, but we wouldn't
yeah,
grow, and we wouldn't.
no, we wouldn't grow because I've made so many mistakes, not with my clients, but in my business, because that's, the only way you know how to you make things work.
Yeah.
And so it just becomes to where you're like, oh, next, tomorrow's a new day, and onward we go. And I've had that happen so many times that I'm just like, okay, onward we go. And so and then a door opens, and that's what you taught me. A door will open if you just keep putting your heart out and crystallize your message.
And that was in the beginning, that was a new thing for you, because I remember working on the branding. I mean, she's Julia is just, incredible, and her story, she has this beautiful signature story about how she got into the whole gut
I
health
think
game,
every
right?
entrepreneur does, because that is how we launch into it. We all have a spellbinding story.
Yes, but
Everybody.
yours was so unique. And then
Yes.
I knew, because you had different products and things like that that were helping me personally. And again, like when I'm excited about something, then I want to shout it from the rooftops. But it was like, Julia, you can reach so many more people,
Yes.
and there's a whole other income line that you could be having,
Yes.
in addition to a very time consuming process of doing colon hydrotherapy with people. We're
Yes.
talking, you don't
And just
just like,
seeing one-on-one people, it
it's
takes so much
limiting.
work.
Yeah,
Yeah, and what I've also experienced, which maybe might be helpful to people out there, is I've learned to show up for what people need, not what I think they need.
that's my golden rule. You get an A plus plus. And
Thank you
this is
very
what
much.
I tell people. You know what? Don't give somebody a stapler just because you want to give them a stapler when they want a sandwich.
Right.
And if they're hungry, this is so interesting with a gut health expert, but the idea is that if what they want and need is food, and you're giving them a shiny stapler, and it doesn't matter if you go, but the stapler is 50% off this month. It doesn't matter.
I
We
know.
want to make sure that our target, our potential clients and customers are going to get from us what they need and want, not necessarily what we want to give them.
I I honestly started off with all these super trendy ideas that I thought other gut health coaches were becoming successful for. Shrinking your belly and losing weight and doing this and that. And here's my audience. They're all about to jump off the Golden Gate Bridge. Their bodies aren't working. So it's like meet them where I
Yeah.
meet them where they are and I walk with them and I just let them know they're supported. And honestly, that's something that I saw and felt you do in every single
Mm.
session with me, or also on those KPFK fund drive calls. I mean, I watched you would tune into a caller, you would tune into that thing that they shared, the most vulnerable moment, and you'd make space around it. And you would give them a chance to just sit in it. That people don't do that because they generally aren't listening, and interviewers aren't listening, and people have an agenda. And I get it. I've been there. Like I want to give people their quote unquote money's worth. So I'm trying to like pour all this stuff out. And and what I saw you do is just take a step back and see what needed to happen.
Mm. And that is listening to listen
Yeah,
and not listening to talk, right?
yeah,
Which
it is.
we
It
can
is.
do.
And
It's
it's also feeling like my value isn't dependent on giving out a certain set of instructions that I think is what people are paying me for. Maybe my value is to sit and listen to what their day was and help them just as they speak out loud, sort it out and rearrange it because gut health is has to do with your mental health and these things are going to go together. But I mean, it doesn't really matter even what you did with me. You would just we'd throw something out and see, does this work? And sometimes we would howl because it would just be like, oh my gosh, that's crazy. And then we would just keep, like, you gave me permission to fall on my face and not be embarrassed and just keep going out there. And I've taken that with me over the last 15 years to continue to come back every time I made a wrong turn in my business, or or something needed to shift. I've changed shipping companies 3 times. I finally have a great one. Every time to just keep showing up. I mean, being an entrepreneur means reinventing ourselves, maybe not in what I'm an authority in, but in every other piece
Yeah,
continually, right?
absolutely. And taking ownership, because I remember when we were first talking about setting up the products that you would be
Yes,
offering.
that's
And
right.
I can't remember the very first what you were going to call for the gut health tablets,
Yes,
right?
yes,
It was something like gut health tablets or something like
I
that. And
know, right? Yeah,
I was like,
right.
no, no.
No, no, no,
And I
no.
kept saying, I said, Julie, you're the epitome of like energy and health and wellness. And I said, we need to have your face. We've got to have your face on these products. And I remember like you were looking at me
Yes,
like,
you do.
really? Right?
I
Ooh,
know,
me?
right?
And then also, I said, your name. Now,
Right.
Julia Loggins, Julia was no longer, but she was married to Kenny Loggins. And I
Yeah.
just remember that day where I said, you've paid dearly for your name, have
I
you
know,
not?
right? That's exactly. Are we
Not
not
meaning
going to?
anything bad, but you know what I'm
Right.
saying is like,
Yes.
the ups and downs of being married to a, very famous, singer,
Yes.
musician,
Yes.
would be very interesting. And I said, you've got great name recognition and
Yeah.
your face. Let's put you and your name on the labels, on the products. So it's Julia Loggins gut health pills, whatever.
Yes.
Julia
Yeah.
Loggins, you
And
know,
then you gave the name Happy Gut Cleanse, which has been the
yes,
perfect name.
yes. Oh, and as someone who's a coach and a co-creator with my
Yeah.
clients, that's one of my favorite things to do, is to help design or come up with naming conventions for products
Oh,
and services.
you
I
did such a
love it.
good job. You named my parasite cleanse Bugs Be Gone.
Bugs be gone.
And so, I mean, is that a fabulous name? That was such a great name for the products. For my protein powder, you named All Day Energy and protein powder. I mean, you created those greatest names for those products. I mean, and and the way, I can tell that is that they've continued, that they've had
For
it
several
just
years. Yeah,
it's
many years.
they've been so sustained, and it's recognizable. And that's something that, because there's so much out there for all of us of what we do, we want to make something really instantly recognizable. And
Yeah.
and then we just show up, and they know what they're getting. We want people to know what they're getting. We want
Yeah.
people,
You
yeah.
could be a little nerve-wracking. I know, because Julia has no ego, and it's all about the client. It's all about the people that she wants to help. That's just on her sleeve, right? So when it came to going, no, Julia, we're going to focus on you as the brand, your face, your energy, your name. I know there was a little bit of like who
I
really,
know.
like
Really?
I don't
I
know.
know.
Can you talk about that? And then finally going, and then being okay with it, not
Yeah,
just
it
okay
was
with it.
hard. It felt like it did feel,
Weird.
um, yeah, it felt very weird and uncomfortable. And it felt weird and uncomfortable. And also, there's that part, and I don't know if other entrepreneurs struggle with this, but that I wanted everyone in the world to have my products, and I didn't want to feel like a salesperson. Being with you made me realize that I could channel that kind of energy, that
Yeah.
I didn't he never apologized for what he was doing, and he never had to feel. I mean, he was a great salesman, but it never had an inauthentic feel to it. He just thought he had this incredible service he was doing for people. And working with you allowed me to embody that. And I think number one is, as a woman, that had been something that just felt odd. And then there's also people, certainly in my field, but I guess in every field, that feel so disingenuous. And I was kind of rebelling from that. And so
Yeah.
feel like you really allowed me, or maybe you pushed me in all the right ways, to just say, you don't have to, they're not you. Like, you just go
They're
out
not
and be,
you. Yeah.
they're
They're
not
not
you.
you.
Like, so you can go out there and tell people, just feel really good about it and let people know they do need it. And that's okay. And I have I ha and it's still a balance for me, and I guess it is for every entrepreneur. I mean, my consulting in the wellness space has gone a little crazy. I mean, there's people who charge $2,000 for a consult. I mean, but and then you only work with a certain kind of person. And I
Right.
don't want to work with that kind of person only. Now I want to be affordable, but because of everything else you've allowed me to give, I have a lot of other products where that maybe they're making money, and so I can keep my consulting and coaching within a basically, if I call it, an affordable range, so that a regular person who doesn't have to, be a superstar in their world can afford to work with me, and yet also, you know, feel like I'm allowed to be a business person. I think that's another thing
Yeah.
you gave me, you just gave me that diploma. Maybe I didn't go to business school because I was an authority in gut health, but you really gave me we talked a lot about the word authority when we started to work together.
Isn't that
You
interesting? I don't remember that.
you taught me the difference between power and authority.
Really?
Yes, because you said power has a quality of domination.
Mhm.
Authority is expertise, where you are an expert in your field and people are coming to you. You are drawing them to you with your authority. And power has a sort of competition quality to it. And
Yeah.
you said, focus on being an authority and you'll be more comfortable in sharing your message.
Wow.
I
I sound
know. Aren't
great.
you so smart? I know, right? You're smarter than you think. That really, really made a big difference for me to allow myself to own being an authority in my field.
I
And
saw
then,
that, yeah. And then
you know,
and then all the door then so
everything
much
changed.
opened up for you. And
And
now
it's yeah, it's important for my, and also my clients, and do in social media, it comes across in how we do our videos. Every little thing comes across in making people feel I've got them. I've got them. I've got them. They're gonna be okay.
that's the most important thing for you and your message with
Yeah,
people. And now
yeah.
Julia also now she's like a TikTok star. She's like she's I don't even know. I don't know. I haven't gone to your page to see how many followers you have, and that's
I'm
the most
getting
important.
towards 100,000 and
Jeez, that's
and
great.
it, and I don't do any of the game, and I don't do any bot things and it's just
It's
all
just you. Yeah.
genuine people who show up. And I also have learned too, just to tell everybody out there,
Yeah.
don't worry about the number of followers you have. It's about the amount of people you have that buy your product. I mean,
Yeah.
because I didn't grow very many followers last month. In fact, I didn't have very big numbers on my videos, kind of underwhelming, and it was my highest grossing month because
Wow.
huge percentage of those people that did show up bought a consult. I mean, they would watch a video and buy a consult. Those conversion numbers are rare. When you have
Yep.
somebody who just comes to a TikTok live or does one little thing and then
That's
buys a
huge.
consult, it's huge to do that. You don't need, so anybody out there who's like, oh my gosh, I only have 1,000 followers, I have 2,000 followers. It means nothing. Don't let that get into your head. It's only about your conversion. And you can do that by showing up with authority and sharing what you do, and just don't stop doing it
The consistency is really important. And like what
every
you're
single
saying,
day.
it's not the quantity of people
No,
that see your work and are listening to you or watching you. It's the quality, right?
yeah,
And
it's the quality.
that's the important thing. And but by showing up, because if Julia didn't show up and she's, if you're not doing those videos, if you're not doing
Yeah,
those lives, people
there's
just don't
nobody else
know.
doing it.
But
No,
you're
and the
also and you're
yeah,
showing your expert authority by answering the questions that are shooting at you like a million
yeah,
miles an hour. They're coming up on the screen and they're saying, I've got this, I've got that, what do I do? And you're like on the top of your head just going, well, okay, no, okay, I know about this. I've dealt with this person. I've had clients that have had this. This helps, that. And you're just like rapid fire. But people who are sitting in the back watching
yes,
and not
yes,
commenting, they're like,
yes.
far out, this lady knows her shit.
Knows what she's doing.
So,
She knows what
oh,
she's
this lady
doing,
knows her
right?
shit. That's very
And,
funny.
I've also, I know that is hilarious. I've also learned not only to protect myself so I don't get banned again on TikTok,
Oh, it's
but
easy to get banned.
I know have been banned twice, but not only to not get banned, but to sell my product, which is I will answer a question pretty generally, but I always try to do a close, which is here's an answer, but where I really can answer that question for you will be in a consult, book a consult. I say that so many more times than I used to. I'm much less shy about saying just book a consult because I know how much value those consults are. And, I know what I can do for someone in a consult. And everybody out there, don't be shy and just keep doing it, keep doing it, keep doing it, and keep showing up. Your videos will get better. I mean, I look at mine from 3 years ago and they're so much better now. And you're just going to get, better and better and have fun I mean, that's what Christine, work with Christine because she is so fun. But really, I have to say, no entrepreneur, we can't see ourselves. It's
Yeah.
our blind spots are part of our gift because if we didn't have those, we would be way too logical to keep going. So, but who's going to see our blind spot? Who's going to see both our gift and our weakness? And with a lot of love, help us manage those things.
Yeah.
It takes an outside expert to do that. And I wouldn't be here if I didn't have you.
Oh, thank you, love. You're so
Yeah.
amazing. I
Well,
love
it's
you.
so true. I really wouldn't have. I would have just kept doing what I was doing. And which is okay, just like for anybody out there. But then you're not going to, and now taking our message out. I mean, one thing about technology is it is this gift to all of us that for, very little money, very little setup, whether
Yeah.
it's a phone or like, a system like what you have right now, for very little money, we can take our message out in the world. That didn't used to be true. So now we got to do it.
And do it authentically, be your
Yeah,
authentic self, and that's the
yeah.
beauty of it. And you
Find
can
who you are.
I'm gonna make sure too. We'll put your website in the show notes so people
Okay.
can have a consult with you and they can check out your different products. But also we'll put a link to your TikTok page as well. And also something that's I think that's really important is like you were talking, and this is for your business. Instead of pitching product, like
Yes.
if you're in the service based industry, so like with Julia or myself who's a coach, or
Yes.
if you're a coach, if you're a consultant, the most important thing for us is to have that consultation. It's to have that conversation. For me,
Yeah.
you know what, I could give away all the books and guides and
I know.
webinars, up the wazoo, and that does not turn somebody into a client, and that does not allow me to help somebody who's struggling with their business. What does help is getting that. I have a free 30-minute strategy call, discovery call, and in that 30 minutes, I get to sit down with that business owner and find out where the holes are, where
Yeah.
with if their messaging is not clear, if it's
Right.
confusing, and then I can brainstorm with them and say, you know what, I think if you did this, this would be a good idea, maybe. And then they can
Yeah.
get those light bulbs going off. But if I don't have that discovery call, that consultation, I don't get to know what that person does and how I can help them.
Yes.
So
And the
with
books
you,
are
it's the
great
same.
for, it's the same for me. And the books, just like you always taught, the books are what give, they establish credibility.
Yes.
So, just like you've made it easy for people to write books and get books published. And so that we do have pieces that, because, to that really establish our credibility. But that's not the same as somebody who talks to us. And then also I have reviews, my website, so that my clients can write reviews on all my products and on my consulting. And it's been cool on TikTok. I've had clients make videos and post them on TikTok that I then can post on my page. So that's really been cool, where they'll just, because they're just regular people. They're not
Testimonials.
famous.
Yeah. And
Just
that's
so great. They're adorable.
and that's again for those people that are sitting in the background just watching those lives or kind of looking at your page. That gives them more reason to reach out to you because they've seen a testimonial
Yes.
from a real person. It's not you saying
Yeah,
how
who
great
said,
you
"I'm
are.
not getting paid or anything. This was
Yes,
what was happening to me, and now this is happening." And they're just, and who doesn't love that? I mean, I watch those. I would watch those from anybody.
I know, they're fun. They're really fun.
They're really,
uh
they're so fun. Yeah.
Darling, what throw out your the name of your website so people, what's the URL for your website? I'll
Oh,
put it
yeah.
in the show notes too, but what is it?
Okay. Cleansingforenergy.com, which is a name,
Cleansingforenergy.com.
you came up with. And I mean, I think what the mark of an entrepreneur is, we don't want to be told what to do. And we also, and that can go against us as far as reaching out for help. So what I want to say is, anybody out there, if you don't want to be told what to do, I hear you. However, when it comes to growing your business, you don't know what you're doing because that is not your expertise.
Right.
It's just not. So in that, just like I have an accountant and a bookkeeper, I'm not good at that stuff. So, that's what you need a person like Christine for.
Ah, you're a love bug. All right, I'll throw out my website so people can get
Throw
in touch
out
with you.
your website,
If
Christine.
you wanted to, and if listeners, if you wanted to have that consultation with me, it's absolutely free. You can go to expertauthoritycoach.com. There's buttons all over the place there that say book your free consult, and you could book it in today, and I could be talking to you tomorrow. That's how quick.
Oh, wow.
That's how quick
That's
the
so cool.
turnaround is.
I love that.
So you can get that at
That's so cool.
expertauthoritycoach.com. My love, thank you so much for coming on the
Thank you
show
so much.
today.
It was so fun. And everybody out there, keep doing what you're doing. Just keep showing up.
Keep showing up, darling. Keep showing up. Thank you, love. And thank you,
Okay.
wonderful listeners and viewers, for tuning in today. If you got something out of this, and if you want to share the show with somebody that you feel will be inspired, please do share it. It's easy to do so. And you can share it on your social media or send them an email, even better. It makes it personal. Until next time, I want to just remind you to keep your authority, keep growing your expert authority. And if you need help along the way, I am always here. All right. Take care now. Bye.